Welcome back to the Alabama Power Halftime Report presented by Alabama Power, always on. It's time now for our Bulldog Conversation. With that, here's Nathan Troost.
I'm sitting with Lauren Womack. She is a senior journalism major here at Samford University. It's great to have you here. We're actually in the radio station talking about what you do best, and that's radio. How did you get involved with, you've been involved for the last 3 years or so, how did you get started with Samford's radio station, WVSU?
Well, it's great to be here, Nathan. I got started with WVSU simply by going on a tour with Samford's journalism department. We came up here. I'd never thought of radio before, but I thought it was a really cool place to be. And our station manager, Andy Parrish, reached out to me, and he allowed a wide-eyed freshman to come in and do voice tracks, which was just announcing songs and events. And the next year, we started Spotlight Samford, which is a weekly 20-minute radio news show. And we've just been working on that from here.
Okay, you mentioned Spotlight Samford. Tell us a little bit more about that. It's once a week. Talk about all that goes into it. And you've recruited a bit of a team since you first started a few years ago.
Definitely. We started my sophomore year with just me doing stories, doing shows, doing the whole thing by myself. Luckily, the next year we recruited a few more students. And so now we have a great program that includes sports. We do music. And really, it's just an opportunity to highlight the people, interesting events, and issues that are going on at Samford. It's the chance to tell the stories of all of the interesting people that walk around our campus every day and find out, what they have to offer, which I found out that it is plenty.
Now, you've been doing this for a few years. What do you enjoy most about producing the Spotlight Samford show, and how do you think it's going to help you when you leave here in May?
Well, most certainly the best part is, like I said, hearing people's stories. When I invite them in an interview, I might know one thing about them, one interesting thing that they do. But when you start talking to people, you find out so much more. And that has been the key thing that I've learned. I think a lot of students don't get the opportunity to go up to people and ask them whatever they want. I think learning to interview, it's a skill that you have to practice. And I get to practice that every single week. So it's been a very intensive learning process working at the radio station.
Right. And speaking of interviewing, we have you on the flip side of it. Usually you're doing the interviewing,
it's
so
scary.
This is a new experience for you. Who would you say is perhaps your most interesting or your most fun interview that you've done in your few years of Spotlight Samford?
That's the most difficult question you could ask. While I've been here, I've gotten to interview Washington Post columnist Eugene Robinson, Newsweek editor Eleanor Clift, Islam scholar John Esposito. I'm name dropping a lot, but and they've been great. It's been amazing.
Some great stories there,
to
I'm sure,
interview
to
those
listen
type
to.
of people. However, my favorite interviews have usually been with students or professors on Samford's campus, and that's because I feel like these are normal people. They're not. They haven't practiced interviewing before, and you find out so many interesting things. My favorite interview has been with 3 students that were in Haiti at the time of the earthquake, and it was great to have them, all 3 in the station together, and to get to go through that process with them. Where were you when it happened? How did you feel at that moment? What are your reflections now? And for me to get to be a part of that, that's such a great experience.
Okay, now during your few years of doing Spotlight Samford, you've won several different awards, but most recently you were in a conference in Louisville. Talk a little bit about, it was an award for a particular segment that your team did on Spotlight Samford. Tell us a little bit about that and your experience at the conference.
Yes, we've definitely gotten to see the rewards of our hard work. This past month, Jackie Long, another WVSU team member, and I traveled to Louisville, had a great time just exploring the city. But we also got to go to journalism workshops, which taught us so much. It's so great to get out of your element, to travel somewhere else, and get to focus on journalism for an entire weekend. And we're very grateful for that opportunity. We won the Best Documentary. We were a finalist in the Best Documentary category. And that was for a program we did on North Star Youth Ministries, specifically their soccer program. This is a program that lots of Samford students are involved with. It's volunteering in the Birmingham community, and it was so great to get to spotlight, a great ministry like that.
We're about out of time, but tell people maybe where they can listen. I know you guys have a blog as well. Just give us everything. How can you find out more information about Spotlight Samford?
All right, we broadcast Wednesdays at 5 on FM 91.1 here in Birmingham. But also you can listen anytime at samford.edu/WVSU. And from there you can find the Spotlight Samford blog, which is where we put our full-length interviews along with the show each week.
Okay, so if perhaps they enjoyed an interview and they wanted to hear some more, they can go to the blog and get the full version of it. An excellent resource. Now, you guys just started that this year, correct?
Correct.
Have you gotten any feedback for it, or is it something that you're hoping to expand?
Oh, we've enjoyed it. Jackie and I blogged about our experience
Yeah.
in Louisville. I know my mom reads it, but we hope that it's reaching a larger audience.
Great. Well, and we hope to see more great things from Spotlight Samford. Again, I'm sitting with Lauren Womack. She is a senior journalism major here at Samford University. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you, Nathan.
You've been listening to Bulldog Conversation on the Alabama Power Halftime Report. Back to the second half in just a moment. This is the Samford Sports Network.